going on, everyone? So today I'm introducing a new segment that I'll be doing every once in a while. It's something I've been wanting to do for a pretty long time now. And this segment is called What I Would Like to See. And here's what I'll be doing with this segment. I will be talking about what I would like to see in movies that are upcoming, movies that have been announced that will be released in the future, or even movies that have not been announced but have been rumored or may not ever be made, but it's still fun to talk about what you would like to see if they could ever possibly come to the big screen. So the movie today I decided to choose what I would like to see is a movie that has not been announced yet but has been rumored by many people out there and discussed, and that movie is a fifth Hunger Games film. Considering the third Maze Runner movie just came out, I felt it was right to make this video on a fifth Hunger Games movie because both movie trilogies, or in this case the Hunger Games has 4 movies, they feel very similar. They are both for young adults when they were written in book form. And I was also a pretty big fan of the first 2 Hunger Games movies, and I've always just wanted to see a fifth one potentially be made. So let's get into what I would like to see in a fifth Hunger Games movie. The first thing is bring back the Hunger Games. This is what made the series so fun. The first 2 movies were by far the best. The second 2 I thought were very disappointing because they did not focus at all on the Hunger Games. They were all about a completely different thing, which I felt made the movies a lot worse. But the first 2 movies, they are really good, very enjoyable. I think the premise is what makes them so intriguing, and just the Hunger Games themselves were very fun to watch. I can't imagine them ever happening in real life, but the overall premise of the Hunger Games themselves is what makes this series so much fun, so definitely bring them back. The second thing I would like to see is go back in time. Make it a prequel, because after the last Hunger Games movies, spoilers here, but there is no longer a capital and now people live free, they're at peace, there is no more Hunger Games. So since there are no more Hunger Games, you cannot make a sequel to those movies. Therefore, it has to be a prequel. So I would like to see them have a movie focus on one of the Hunger Games that started it all. Maybe the first Hunger Games or one of the first 25. I think that would be so much fun. But since it would be a prequel, that means there would be no more Katniss Everdeen or Peter Millark. None of those people. The only person I think they'd be able to bring back for this movie would be Woody Harrelson, because he was in the Hunger Games, so maybe you can make a movie about his Hunger Games. That would be pretty cool, I think. The third thing here is very controversial, but I think it's necessary to truly make a great Hunger Games film, and that is an R rating. Now, one of the problems I had with the first Hunger Games movie was how it was PG-13, and therefore there was a lot of shaky cam, so a lot of the violence was very muffled. You couldn't tell what was going on. So it was a little bit disappointing that there wasn't that much violence to be seen in a movie that's titled The Hunger Games, where people are fighting to the death. But if they made it an R rating, you would have leeway to make it very violent. You could showcase all the blood and gore on the screen, and it would be fantastic. It'd be like watching Logan, but in Hunger Games form. I would absolutely love an R rating for the Hunger Games. How awesome would that be? It's something that is necessary to make it a great movie. The fourth thing I like to see is something that I had a little bit of a problem with too in the other films, and it was how none of the characters in the Hunger Games were really developed besides Katniss and Peeta and a couple maybe other villains in the Hunger Games, but besides that, none of the movies really went into any of the characters' backstories. However, what I would like to see in a new Hunger Games movie is well-developed characters. Now, I absolutely hated how there was 24 people put into the Hunger Games in the first movie, and you barely knew anything about them. But imagine if you have 24 people in the Hunger Games, and they develop around 12 to 20 of them. How sweet would that be? I think this would make the movie a heck of a lot better because when you have so many characters dying on the screen, you don't give a damn about any of them. There were so many people in the first Hunger Games movie that were just given the names District 1 boy and District 1 girl. But instead, if you have well-developed characters, you can actually go into depth about their backstories and let us all see who they actually are on the screen. And when they die, we actually have some sympathy or even anger, rage. We have a lot of emotions, but since there was really no character depth for most of the characters in the first two Hunger Games movies, I did not care at all besides the main characters like Katniss and Peeta and a couple of other people. I'm not sure if it was different with the books because I never read them, but the second movie definitely did a little bit better of a job because it was all-stars. The first two Hunger Games movies were pretty predictable because we're introduced to only a couple characters and you're like, wow, I wonder who's gonna win this. So if they don't really have any main characters and just give us maybe 12 to 20 characters to follow, I think that would be pretty cool. We don't really need main characters to follow in a Hunger Games movie. Just give us a bunch of developed characters that we can be like, okay, I want them to win. And that would make this movie totally unpredictable compared to the other few Hunger Games movies. And finally, I think the last thing they would need to have in order to make this a really good Hunger Games movie is if it's over 2 hours and 30 minutes because you're going to need a lot of time to develop these characters. First two movies focused a lot on the build-up, that was their priority, but the bigger picture was taking over the Capitol in the eventual third and fourth movies. But in this one, we don't really need much of a build-up. We just need to see these characters from their hometowns and develop them. And the only way you can do that is by making this movie about 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's the only way to get around that. I know that doesn't sound ideal, but you have to make this a long movie if you want it to be great. And doing everything you possibly can with your characters, that would just make this movie something I would love to see. So there you guys have it. That's what I would like to see in a fifth Hunger Games movie. I have no idea if it's ever going to happen, but I think it might, maybe 5 to 10 years from now. And thankfully, this movie would not follow any source material, so they would have as much creative room as they possibly could ever have. Alright, so let me know down below in the comments if any of you guys are looking forward to a potential fifth Hunger Games movie and what you would like to see if that were to ever happen. So the next video I have coming up should be my review for 50 Shades Freed. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that at all, but I'll go through it. I don't care. Let's do it. If you're new to my channel, click that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.